You've been taught to work hard, to grind, to hustle, but nobody taught you the real art, the silent power behind every creation, the ability to ask. That's where it all begins. Every dream, every empire, every miracle starts with a whisper between your mind and the universe. I want this. Most people never make it that far. They build without blueprint, chase without direction, and then call it fate when they end up nowhere. They were good workers but poor askers. Asking is not weakness. It's awareness. It's the act of defining what you're willing to receive from life. The world doesn't respond to effort. It responds to clarity. When you ask, something strange begins. You trigger a process that science can't fully explain, but consciousness understands. The brain starts building bridges toward what it imagines. Psychologists call it selective focus. Philosophers call it will. I call it the invisible machinery of creation. You don't need to know how it works, only that it does. Like electricity, you don't have to understand every circuit to turn on the light. All you have to do is flip the switch. But here's the tragedy. Most people never flip it. They wake up, go to work, live inside other people's plans, and forget that asking is how plans are born in the first place. Failure to ask is the quietest kind of self-betrayal. You think you're being humble, but really you're being afraid. And fear loves to disguise itself as logic. It says don't ask for too much. It says be realistic. It says you'll only get disappointed. But who taught you that disappointment was worse than regret? Who taught you that wanting more makes you ungrateful? Every day, billions of people walk to the ocean of possibility carrying a teaspoon. They dip it into infinity and wonder why their life feels small. The ocean doesn't shrink. Their courage does. You can have a bucket, a barrel, a ship. The supply is endless. Excess isn't rationed. There's no shortage of air, no quota on sunlight. The world is abundant, but your self-image determines how much of it you can hold. So maybe the real secret isn't work harder, but ask better. Ask like you mean it. Ask like someone who's ready to receive. Define what you want, precisely. Don't mumble your destiny. Say it out loud. Write it down. Details magnetize reality. When you describe your vision, you give your subconscious coordinates to find it. This is not superstition, it's psychology. Your mind filters the world through intention. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you define begins to take shape. And whatever you ignore disappears. That's not magic. That's cognitive bias working in your favor. But don't confuse clarity with control. You can ask, but you can't dictate the method of arrival. You can choose your desire, but not always the path. Faith fills the space between what you ask for and what you're ready to receive. Faith doesn't mean blind optimism. It means you believe the process even when you can't see the progress. It's the child inside you that still believes wishes matter. Adults complicate everything. They want proof before movement, guarantees before action. But the universe only moves for those who move first. There's an ancient formula, repeated so often it lost its magic. Ask, and you shall receive. But that's not a command, it's a law. You don't beg gravity to pull you down. It does because it must. The same way, when you ask clearly, the world reorganizes itself in ways you can't predict. But it's not instant. There's a delay, a divine latency between intention and outcome. And most people give up during that silence. They assume nothing's happening. They stop believing. They stop asking, and the universe, polite as it is, stops responding. If you truly want to get whatever you want, you must endure the in-between. That strange, painful stretch where you've planted the seed but can't see the roots. That's where faith becomes a skill. That's where emotional maturity meets spiritual patience. Because the truth is, you never get what you want. You get what you ask for and work toward in alignment. Desire without definition is daydreaming. Work without direction is noise. Only when asking and doing collide does reality bend. Look around. Everything in your life right now is an answer to something you once asked, consciously or unconsciously. The relationships, the work, the peace or the chaos, all of it. You've been asking all along. You just weren't aware of what you were asking for. So now you get to choose consciously. You get to rewrite the requests you send out into existence. Ask for wisdom, not comfort. Ask for discipline, not ease. Ask for truth even when it hurts. Because what you ask for defines what you become. And when you start asking, right, you start receiving differently. You'll notice synchronicities, people showing up at the right time, ideas surfacing from nowhere. That's not coincidence, that's coherence. Your inner world and outer world finally speaking the same language. So here's the experiment. For 90 days, write your desires like declarations. Ask like a scientist testing reality. Then watch how your life begins to organize itself around those words. Maybe slowly, maybe all at once, but it will. Because asking is not begging. It's commanding existence with intention. You've spent years mastering the art of doing. Now master the art of asking. Make plans like an adult. Believe in them like a child. That's the paradox that opens every door. You are not too late. You are not unworthy. You are simply under-asked. So ask again. Ask bigger. Trade your teaspoon for a bucket. And meet the ocean halfway. Because the universe isn't testing you. It's waiting for instructions.